Hey everyone, DJ Benji here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about a subject which is very particular to me. This is the way that I like to organise my music library because I had somebody ask me about this as well. So whatever way that you do is absolutely fine, but let me tell you a little story how I got into this, right? So back in the day when I used to play at Oasis bar in Tenerife, it was quite a small bar. It was free entry, all right? So we used to have people coming and going at all times. So it was very important for me as a DJ to try and hold the people in the bar, because I used to get like a minimum amount, but the more money we made in the till, the more money I would get at the end of the night, and I was paid daily, right? So it was important for me to hold the crowd in there as long as I possibly could and keep them dancing, because the busier the place was, the more money we made, right? Especially in the summertime, yeah? So I come up with this system, and basically this system was when I was playing, I would sort of like subdivide all of my songs into colours. Does that make sense? And this works with any genre, all right? So it doesn't matter whether you're playing hip hop or whether you're playing dance or whether you're playing drum and bass, right? And the way that I done this system was like colours in my mind, right? So I had like light blue. Light blue was like a really sort of like chilled out, like love song with, you know, quite vibey, quite chilled. And then I'd have the red songs, which were like quite hard and energetic, right? And then basically the whole colour of the rainbow in between. So, you know, we could go from light blue to dark blue to green into yellow and then into red, and there were lots of sort of subdivisions. And in my mind, I knew whether, when I was playing, I knew by looking at the crowds after years of experience, I knew that whether I needed to try to take it up to keep them dancing or whether to bring the energy down a little bit because they needed a little bit of chilling out time. Because, you know, if you're just playing bangers all the time, people get tired and they will go outside. So you need to sort of like ride the wave. Some people call this reading the crowd, right? So the very important skill to learn as a DJ, yeah? Because you don't want everyone outside smoking all the time, and you don't want people to leave the bar or anything like that, because your job is to entertain and keep people dancing on the dance floor. So how do we do that? Right, so I'm going to show you on Serato on how I label my songs, but you can do this with vinyl. You can do this with CDs. Back in the day with CDs, I just had different marker pens, and I used to just, through my library, when I'd done my CDs, red, green, blue, so people could, I knew the energy of my songs, right? So, but anyone could have picked that up. If I taught them the system, anyone would have been able to do that, and that's what I'm sharing with you today, right? So what we're going to do is, so as you can see on here, you can see that some of these are coloured already, right? So, and on this side, you can see I've got my crates. So I've got my crates, and let's go to Garage MP3, because Garage is one of my favourite genres. And so, look, you can see here that I've tagged everything red. So if we were to listen to that, and like I say, you can use whatever colours, or as long as it means to you what it's supposed to mean. So you understand the concept that a hard hitting tune would be different to a chilled out relaxed tune, yeah? So basically that's how I done it. So I've got it all in sub crates. I've got my music in sub crates of different genres. So like this one's garage, so I can just hit this button here, and then some are not tagged, but I'll get round to those. But then look, we've got, you know, like the light blues, the dark blues, and it doesn't really matter what way that you do it. But if we listen to a light blue song, it would be quite chilled, and then we can go all the way through. So I could just be playing this set. So let's say I'm playing this one, Words by Hamdi. I'm not going to play the song because I get a lot of copyright notifications from this, right? But and I don't want my video to get taken down because I'm playing music for people. I just want to help guys, you know, and girls, whoever you are, wanting to DJing. So, you know, I could just go through this. I'm playing my blues songs, and then I notice that people are getting a little bit bored, and I feel that they need something a little bit more. So I want to inject like the next level into the dance floor to sort of picking it up. Or maybe it might be that I'm just starting off the night, and you know, people are starting to have a few drinks. You know, they're listening to my mix, they're starting to vibe, and you see them nodding their head and everything. And I think to myself, right, okay, people have had a couple of drinks now. Maybe I want to start coercing them onto the dance floor a little bit. So then what I might do is play a song which has got a little bit more rhythm to it, say like something from the Light Green collection, and I might play I don't know, something with a vocal that maybe people know, you know, or maybe a classic tune from back in the day, which is going to try and get people onto the dance floor. But I would know because everything's labelled on a green style, and then I can carry on playing those green songs until it gets to the next point where I think, right, okay, I'm ready to get more people on the dance floor. Then suddenly I might play, let's say, garage, for example. If I was to go, you know, up into the greens, might be something like, I don't know, Sweet Female Attitude Flowers, for example. Very, very popular song. If I put that on, I can guarantee lots of people would come to the dance floor. And yeah, or if I was to talk about, say, R&B and hip hop, one that never ever fails, which I would consider a green song, Mary J. Blige, what's it, Family Affair it's called. People love that song, yeah. Or, you know, if I was thinking about a drum bass song, which is like a green sort of vibe, Shy FX, and T-Power and MC Skibbity. I forget the name of the song, but you get my point, yeah? People are going to dance to those songs, right? And then once I've got the collective on the dance floor and I can see that they're enjoying themselves, I'll just keep it the same, because if it's working, why break it, you know? And you'll find after a while that people will start to get a little bit bored. Maybe they've danced to like 8 songs or whatever. They might want to go to the bar, get a drink or whatever. Then what will happen is I'll start to test, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll go down to my dark green to take it up to the next level. And I might put, you know, this Running by Kelly Lee and Low Stepper. That's a huge tune, you know. Or yeah, something like this. Love Bug, Ramsey and Fenn, you know, to getting all these big tunes now. Get Out by Notion is like a greeny yellow one now. So, you know, if I'm getting a little bit heavier, a little bit harder, then I might play that one. And I mean, these are all really, really like newer songs that I'm talking about here. This one, Housework, Jax Jones. This is a yellow. That is a certified banger, to be fair. Everyone loves that one. It's Over Now, Big Ange, banger, right? These are like peak time tunes, right? When you've got everyone in, this is like your hands up in the air moments. Everyone's dancing, everyone's having a real, real good time. And then, you know, we could keep going through this, keep getting harder and harder. And then, you know, we're suddenly into the orange stuff. And we're taking them on this upwards journey to build the energy. And this is, of course, over a good couple of songs, you know. I'm not just... My point is, what I'm not doing is playing something super duper chilled, then something super duper heavy, and then going super duper chilled again. Does that make sense? You want to try and take people on a bit of a journey when you're doing it. But how do you do that, you know? And I think that this this color coding system really helps. So, you know, I can start from a point, or maybe it may be I might start from the red ones because I've just taken over from a DJ who's just played a world-class champion DJ set, and I'm like, whoa, where do I go from that now? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I might start playing some red tunes, trying those out, but the dance floor may have had too much. So then what I might want to do is bring the pitch up a little bit so I don't lose the tempo, and then stick something on slightly lighter just to start that energy all over again, and then start to build, and then build and build and build and build till we get to the reds again. So hopefully that all helps. But yeah, this reading the crowd thing, this is where it's at when you're a DJ. If you get gigs and you can master this, then you'll keep people dancing. And at the end of the day, the bar manager, your agent, or whoever you're working for will be very happy for you, and you'll definitely be asked to get back. Don't get me wrong, everyone can go in there and play Ride on Time, Show Me Love, and whatever songs, Dreamer by, you know, if you wanted to do 90s dance song, Live Enjoy Dreamer. If you was to play those songs, yeah, for sure. I mean, you're definitely going to... But how boring is that going to be for you in the long run? Because if you play the same set, I guarantee after a couple of months, you're going to be sick to death with DJing because you haven't innovated yourself. Not only that, if you're playing in a nightclub and people are coming to your nightclub and you're playing the same set week in, week out, that person will come back on the first week, come back on the second week. By the third or fourth week, like, hey, DJ Benji's playing the same music as he did last week. It's a bit boring in here. So by having this color coding system, you'll always be able to innovate, try new things out as well, because then you'll be able to drop tunes in. When you get new songs, you're like, oh yeah, I really like this. I'm going to label it as green, for example. You could put that in and then you can test it in a green set, and then you'll be able to know whether it fits or whether it doesn't. And that's how you're going to get better, by playing around and experimenting. All right. So there you go, guys. That is how I basically label my music library, so I can always play blind. And even if I'm going through a song and I'm like, what the hell is that? I can put it on and I know that it'll be roughly the same sort of energy level as what I was playing because of the color labeling system. So there you go. I hope that helps. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay tuned for more videos from me. I'm going to be talking about videos on how you can improve your DJing. We cover beat mixing, music production, labeling your songs, reading the crowd. All of these things are all covered here. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you tune back soon. Anyway, have a good day. DJ Benji here. Love you lots, people. Thanks for subscribing. See you all later. Bye.